After initiating the deposit on the DEX interface, the user's wallet will display a final confirmation screen before signing. This screen summarizes the raw transaction details being sent to the ledger. A sophisticated user should understand these fields. Transaction. Type. This will be AMM deposit. Asset and Asset 2. The definitions of the two assets in the pool, including currency codes and issuer addresses. Amount, SAR amount to. The amounts of the assets being deposited. For XRP, this is expressed in drops. 1 million drops equal 1 XRP. LP token out. An optional field that can specify the minimum amount of LP tokens the user is willing to accept, acting as a form of slippage protection. Fee. The standard XRPL network fee for the transaction, paid in XRP, which is typically very small. Upon signing and submitting this transaction, the user has officially become a liquidity provider for that AMM pool. Section 5. Post-provision management and verification. Successfully submitting an AMM deposit transaction is not the final step. A crucial part of responsible DeFi participation is the ability to independently verify the outcome of on-chain actions and effectively manage the resulting position. This section outlines the procedures for confirming a successful liquidity deposit, tracking the newly acquired LP tokens, and understanding the processes for withdrawal and governance. 5.1. How to verify a successful liquidity deposit on an XRPL Explorer. The XRP Ledger is a public, transparent database. Every transaction is recorded immutably, and its outcome can be verified by anyone. Relying solely on a DEX interface for confirmation is insufficient. Direct on-chain verification is the definitive proof of a transaction's success. Obtain the transaction hash. After submitting the deposit, the wallet or DEX interface will provide a unique transaction identifier, known as a transaction hash, or TXID. This is a long alphanumeric string. Use a Ledger Explorer. Navigate to a trusted XRPL Explorer, such as XRP Scan 28, GateHub Explorer 35, or the official Levanet XRPL.org Explorer. Search for the transaction. Paste the transaction hash into the main search bar of the Explorer and execute the search. Interpret the results. The Explorer will display the full details of the transaction. The key fields to check are 36. Validation status. Look for a clear indicator that the transaction is in a validated ledger. A transaction is only final and immutable once it has been included in a validated ledger by the consensus process. Transaction result. Check the result code. The code tests. Success indicates that the transaction was successfully executed and its changes were applied to the ledger state. Any other code, e.g. BAUTEC, TEM, TEF codes, indicates a failure, though the transaction may still be included in the ledger to account for the burnt transaction fee. 5.2. Managing your position. Tracking LP tokens and pool share. Once the deposit is verified, the LP tokens will appear in the user's wallet alongside their other assets. Viewing LP tokens. A compatible wallet will list the newly received LP tokens under its asset balances. The token will have a unique currency code, which is algorithmically generated and predictable, and its issuer will be the AMM's account address. Calculating pool share. An LP's share of the pool's assets and future fees is directly proportional to the amount of LP tokens they hold relative to the total supply of that LP token. This can be calculated with the formula: your pool share percent, total LP tokens, outstanding, your LP token balance at 100. The DEX interface for the specific pool usually displays the total LP tokens outstanding, sometimes referred to as total liquidity, making it easy to monitor one's share. 5.3. The withdrawal process. Redeeming LP tokens, AM withdraw. When a liquidity provider decides to exit their position, they must redeem their LP tokens to claim their share of the underlying assets. Mechanism. This process is initiated via an AMM withdraw transaction. The user specifies the amount of their LP tokens they wish to redeem, either a partial amount or the full balance. Execution. The interface will construct the AM withdraw transaction, which is then signed by the user's wallet. Upon execution, the specified LP tokens are burned, permanently destroyed, and the protocol transfers a proportional share of the two assets currently in the pool to the user's wallet. Important consideration. Due to price fluctuations and trades that have occurred in the pool, the amount and ratio of the two assets withdrawn will likely be different from the initial deposit. This divergence is the source of impermanent loss, which is discussed in the next section. 5.4. Engaging with the protocol, voting on trading fees, AMM vote. As stakeholders in the AMM, LPs have the ability to influence its profitability by voting on the trading fee. Mechanism. Using the DEX interface, an LP can initiate an AMM vote transaction. The user enters their desired fee, which is typically specified in basis points, 1/100%. For example, a value of 100 in the transaction corresponds to a 0.110% trading fee. The maximum fee is 1%, 1,000. Impact. When a vote is cast, the AMM recalculates its fee as a weighted average of the votes from its top 8 LPs. This allows the community of liquidity providers to dynamically adjust fees to balance competitiveness, attracting traders with low fees and profitability, earning more per trade with higher fees. Section 6. Advanced Risk Analysis and Mitigation. Providing liquidity to an AMM is not a passive, risk-free investment. It is an active market-making strategy that exposes providers to a unique set of financial risks, most notably impermanent loss. A sophisticated participant must understand these risks in depth and be aware of the mechanisms, both beneficial and potentially centralizing, that the XRPL AMM employs to manage them. The magnitude of impermanent loss is a function of the price divergence and is nonlinear. The greater the price change, the greater the loss relative to holding. 6.2. The Continuous Auction Mechanism, TM, as an IL mitigation tool. The XRPL AMM introduces a novel feature designed to directly combat impermanent loss, the Continuous Auction Mechanism, CAM. 5. This mechanism is built on the recognition that arbitrageurs play a crucial role in keeping AMM prices aligned with external markets, and they profit from these activities. The CAM aims to capture a portion of this arbitrage value and redistribute it to the liquidity providers. Mechanism. The AMM instance continuously auctions off a 24-hour auction slot. Any user can bid for this slot using the pool's LP tokens. The highest bidder wins the slot and gains the privilege of trading against that AMM with a significantly discounted trading fee, near zero, for the 24-hour period. Benefit to LPs. The LP tokens paid by the winning bidder are not burned, but are distributed to the other liquidity providers in the pool, proportional to their stake. This creates an additional revenue stream for LPs, entirely separate from trading fees. In theory, during periods of high volatility, arbitrage activity increases, leading to more aggressive bidding for the auction slot. This, in turn, generates higher payouts for LPs, helping to offset the increased impermanent loss they experience during that same volatile period. 6.3. A framework for evaluating token viability and avoiding rug pulls. The most significant risk in DeFi is not impermanent loss, but the complete loss of capital due to fraudulent projects or rug pulls. Synthesizing the lessons from the investigation in Section 2, the following framework provides a reusable checklist for evaluating the basic viability of a token before considering it for liquidity provision. Source verification. Does the project have a professional, functional, and official website? Is there a publicly available white paper or detailed documentation that explains the project's purpose, technology, and tokenomics? 11. Is there an active and transparent developer community, e.g., a public GitHub repository with recent commits, an active Discord server with developer engagement? 11. Issuer and parameter verification. Can the official issuer address and currency code be found directly within these primary sources? Do not proceed without this. Cross-reference the token's contract address/issuer on a trusted explorer to avoid counterfeit tokens. Liquidity and market health for existing tokens. Use a DEX or Explorer to check the AM pool's health. What is the total value locked TVL? Extremely low TVL indicates high risk and high slippage. What is the 24-hour trading volume? Healthy pools have consistent trading volume, which is the source of fee revenue for LPs. 45. Community and narrative analysis. Analyze the tone of community discussions. Is it focused on technology and use cases? Or is it dominated by hype, price speculation, and promises of unrealistic, guaranteed returns? Be wary of narratives that seem too good to be true. A token that fails any of these fundamental checks should be considered extremely high risk. The discipline to walk away from projects that lack transparency is the single most important skill for a liquidity provider. Section 7. Conclusion and final recommendations. The introduction of a native automated market maker represents a pivotal advancement for the XRP Ledger's decentralized finance capabilities. Its unique protocol-level integration provides a foundation for a highly efficient, low-cost, and unified liquidity ecosystem. Features such as the direct integration with the order book DEX for optimized price pathfinding, the convenience of single-sided liquidity deposits, and the innovative continuous auction mechanism collectively position the XRPL AMM as a powerful and sophisticated platform for DeFi participants. The investigation conducted for this report into the user-specified tokens, MB589, MG589, and Denarii DFI, serves as an excellent example of the modern due diligence process. While initial, broad searches presented an incomplete picture, the availability of community-provided resources, and, most importantly, the ability to perform direct on-chain verification via public ledger explorers and DEX listings allowed for the confirmation of all necessary parameters. This highlights a key principle for DeFi participants. The official, immutable data on the ledger is the ultimate source of truth. The successful verification of these tokens underscores the importance of using a multifaceted research approach that combines community engagement with rigorous on-chain analysis.